Hi there, I'm Boyuan. Our group is consists of three people, which I include me, Tabitha, and Sungwon. Today, I'm going to introduce you an experiment about T-shirt. This experiment is about one T-shirt is from a luxury brand and one T-shirt is from the unnamed brand, but you can see those T-shirts are the same. But actually, what behind this is those two T-shirts are from the same factory, they are same products. So our experiment is just we want to see how people behavior and acts and attitudes based on the T-shirt experiment. We also make some hypotheses. The first one is people from different age group care about different clothes aspects, and the second one is people come from different background. They also have different choices for clothes. And the third one is a T-shirt, if it's from a luxury brand and if it costs you $300, you are not going to feel it's expensive. But if you say it's from Zara or Topshop, you will feel a little bit expensive for that. And the fourth is exactly same product from the same from different brand. One is from luxury, one is from the unnamed one. Most of the people will think the luxury one will give you more confidence. The fifth one is exactly same product from two different brands, but one is from the luxury one, the one is from the unnamed one. The luxury one will give you more vanity compared with the unnamed one. And the last one is people will think that the brand power and quality of the clothes is the most important part for the clothes. And the questionnaire is based on 30 people's basis. And we found that it is quite interesting. It is also the result. It is also depends on whether you are male or you are female. So the first hypothesis we identified is from age 18 to 29, people are care about more design and style of the clothes. And I think is because people from this age, they don't have so much purchasing power, so they only care about the design and style more. But people from 30 to 49, they care about the quality of the clothes and brand power more. So people who are from 50 plus, they care about only the quality of the clothes and whether it is value for money. We got a 40 male participant and 16 female participant. So it's kind of like the same. For the quality of the clothes, it's like male and female have a very close ones, but female apparently they care more about brand power and design. Also, for the question for the T-shirt, if the luxury brand is cost $300, make you feel cheap, most of the female feel that it is cheap. But for most of the male, they don't feel like that. For the last hypothesis we have, it depends on different age groups. From age 18 to 29, 50% of people feel that wearing a luxury brand of clothes will satisfy their vanity. But when it's come to age group from 30 to 49, almost 75% of people will think that wearing luxury clothes will satisfy their vanity. So it's also changed. There are two concepts. New age is relevant our experiment. The first one is FRMI experiment. It is simply says the more expensive the product is, it will offer you more pleasure, which can kind of prove that our hypothesis. And also lean from the book Scarcity Effect on Value, and also Brock from the book Implications of Community Theory for Value Changes. They also mentioned a concept called scarcity. Scarcity can enhance the value of anything because if it's scarcity, it is the limited resources. Scarcity can enhance the value of the product that can be processed. Or in terms of our experiment, if the clothes is from a luxury brand, and what the luxury brand always do is they limit the addition or they limit the amount of the clothes they product, so they make it so they make a phenomenon of scarcity to
Hi,
make
I'm
it
Sungwon,
more valuable.
and I'm going to cover social influence. And as mentioned in introduction, we let people to find any difference between two same products A and B. And one of them told us that A used better materials compared to products B, and this influenced other people's mind. And finally, a majority of group members said product A used better quality on material in comparison to product B. This situation can be connected to social influence theory, which defined as change in individuals' thoughts, feelings, attitude, or behaviors that result from interaction with another individual. Social influence theory could be divided into two parts, which are informational social influence and normative social influence. Informational social influence is influence to accept information obtained from others' evidence about reality. People tend to follow others' information when if they have unclear or lack of information, since people desire to be correct. There is one example that represent this informational social influence, which called autokinetic effects experiments. In this experiment, they use small spot of lights project onto a screen in a dark place in order to show the movements of lights, and let participants estimate how far the lights move individually. It can be very 20 cm to 80 cm, and then tester build a group with 3 participants, and 2 of them had very close measured value, and the other participant who had very different estimation. Interestingly, a majority of group converge to a common estimate, which tells that the participants who had quite different estimation just changed its estimation after heard other 2 participants' and estimation. For normative social influence, it defined as influence to conform to the expectation of others person or group. Most people probably have peer pressure amongst groups since they want to be part of that group. For example, you watch movie or any performance with your friends which you thought just on average, and your friends, however, they said it was really good performance and one of the top performance in their life. Probably he would have better satisfaction on performance after hard, but groups, not all of people are conformed to social pressure. In 1988, Smith and Bond found that Western and Eastern countries have different level of conformity. Western culture such as UK or USA, they are more like to be individualistic and don't want to be seen as being the same as everyone else. Whereas Eastern culture, such as Asian countries, they people more like to value family or other social group more than
based
themselves.
on
My experience, because like actually I'm Korean and I used to live in Korea for a long time, and I also lived in New Zealand for many years, and I found that I feel it's like Asian people are more like to have high social pressure compared to
and
New Zealand
furthermore,
people. We found according to the graph that we found, Asian people are more like to purchase luxury brand rather than normal brand, but any other ethnic groups such as Maori or any European, they're more like to purchase with
Hi, I'm
better
Tabitha,
quality.
and just as one of the last statistics we found, according to our surveys and sampling, that Asian group or the Asian group that we surveyed cared more about luxury brands compared to our European, Māori, and Pacific Islander groups. We found 89% of them would purchase a luxury brand, and compared to Europeans and any other
Now
group.
we're covering the halo effect of the luxury brand.
So basically, the halo effect is a term used in marketing to explain the bias shown by customers towards certain products because of a favorable experience with other products made by the same manufacturer or maker. The halo effect is a concept driven by brand equity. So the halo effect is effective for companies with high brand equity and in industries that rely heavily on brand equity to grow demand. It also is effective for companies in competitive monopolies and with these many companies offering the same service with marginal differences. Companies who use halo effect to establish themselves in a particular industry. If one product can become a leader in a given industry, the brand equity from that product may spread like a halo to other products. This reasoning allows companies to accept a certain level of loss with the understanding the loss is really an investment in brand equity and a payoff across all future products and services sold by the company. In this way, the halo effect has the potential to not only increase customer traffic, but also pricing, which are the two main levers of revenue growth. The existence of the so-called halo effect has long been recognized. It is a phenomenon where we assume that because, for example, people are good at doing something in group A, they will be good at doing something in group B, C, and D, or the reverse, which is they're terrible at doing an activity in group A, they also will be bad at doing something in group B, C, and D. The phrase was first coined by Edward Thorndike, a psychologist who used it in a study published in 1920 to describe the way that commanding officers rated their soldiers. He found that officers usually judged their men as being either good across the board or bad. There was little mixing of traits. Few people were said to be good in one respect.
To answer some of our
But bad in
hypotheses,
another.
we found that a lot of our samplers or people that we experimented on thought that product A was higher quality and better than product B because it was from a luxury brand, and this answered our hypothesis of how brand power influences people's decision and buying decisions or making decisions. Also, we found that they thought product A was better than product B, like it felt better, had better quality, just by having information that it was from a luxury brand. And we also found that a large group of people from, I think it was Asian group, more than any other ethnic group, which was European, New Zealand, Māori, Pacific Islanders, etc. And so mostly the large group was Asian groups, and they responded more to the product that was from a luxury brand, and we found that they had quite a bit of vanity in their personality as a trait, which was very interesting as well. And yes, even though both shirts were from the same company and same material, everything, it was very interesting to find people's perspectives, attitudes, and behaviors towards different
and to
products.
conclude,
It was an interesting experiment, and we found that social influences, both information and normative influence, contributes to people's buying and decision making. We found that people respond to brands and fashion and believe when they are told one is higher costing, so they believe that it's a better product or quality. And other theories that we applied to this project were answered, and hypothesis that we came across, we had 3 of them, and they were answered and exactly how we thought it would be expected, and how we thought our samplers would respond to it. As a recommendation for companies that are doing like shirts or clothing businesses, obviously it is good for them to go out research about who their customer base is, how they can persuade them to buy their clothes, find out these different personality traits, which different ethnic groups respond to different types of things. We found that some of them responded more to design and fashion compared to quality of material and cost. And another recommendation is just to do a whole lot of advertising and research, as this would help your business in the whole and the long run. And finally, also one other recommendation our group thought was that with this whole project and experiment, it is really important to know your brand and your products. That way you can be more convincing and relatable to customers.
Okay, so this is the replica and that is the branded one. If you were to buy them or buy a shirt, which one would you buy and why? Do you want to go first?
So this is the what one?
That's the replica, and then that's the one that's the brand, like the actual one.
This one is not. This one is good. Yeah, I would definitely go for this one. If you wash it, it's not gonna fade. Yeah, this one is fading.
So which one would you buy?
I think this one.
You'd go for this one?
Yeah, I think we'll go with this one. But I don't know because. But this
I
one,
don't
even
like
though
this one.
This
It's
one is
nice
soft.
and light.
Yeah, it's yeah, like that.
So that
If you
one's
wash it-
light,
you wash
and
it,
that
it's
one's.
gonna- the colour's gonna fade. See, this is smart.
Then you can buy another one. It's a bit cheaper.
So which one would you buy out of the two tops?
I think I'll go for this one.
You'd go for the
I'll go with this one.
what did I call it? You'd go for the copy,
Yeah.
the replica,
Yeah.
and why would you go for that?
Because it's lighter.
Because it's lighter.
Yeah, it's lighter. It's in weight.
And this would be
It's
like
thinner.
way cheaper because this is like, say that's 40 bucks.
Exactly,
This is
yeah.
like 80.
Be cheaper. Yeah, I think that's what I'll go with this one.
So you'd
It's
go for
lighter
that
in
one?
weight, yeah.
Alright.
It's it feels nice. Feels thinner.
Alright, cool.
And yeah, it would be cheaper.
I just like the color of this.
Nice.
That's all.
And you'd get this because of color?
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. Okay.
Just the color.
So you would get that because of the color?
Yeah.
Nothing, no other reason?
I don't know.
You said you like the feeling of it.
No, I like this one.
You like
But
the
I just
feel
like
of
the
that one
colour.
though?
You like the colour.
Like if I wash it, it's not gonna fade.
Okay, so that's why she
Oh,
likes
okay.
it because
Yeah.
she puts it in the washing.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not gonna fade. Whereas that one.
If that had the same color as that, would you get that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See. So, reason why I had to ask you those is because that one's not a branded one. they're both from the same shop, but like it's because we have to find out people's perceptions and like figure out if they'll go with this one or that one because they know that's a brand, but like clearly you're just going for that because of the color and you're going for that because of the feel and it's cheaper. But if this had the same color, you'd go for this one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.